putting a bidet together. We don't have a whole lot of them here in America, so that's what I want to do. So first of all, I went ahead, ordered the bidet. Don't forget to order the escutcheons and trim kit and everything along with the manifold and the bidet itself, because you'll get a package and you won't have these. So you got to make sure that you get the manifolds and things like that. Order those. You'll have to do that separate, but it should be on the same page. Anyways, so I put the first I started off with the metal trim kit, which holds the riser for the rod for the up and down motion of the deal. I've put on the drain assembly, and also I have started putting on the main manifold here. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and do that and then pull that back out again, and I'll run a short overview of what this thing looks like. But anyways, so we've got this, we've got our washers together, top and bottom, on that main manifold. So now I'm just going to go ahead and hook up that deal and see if I can tighten that up. Make sure that your water connections, which are going to be holding this here, this spout right here, this 1/4 inch piece of copper right here. And what this does is, this is a split T, and then this carries the water line from here to the right, into the hot, into the cold. So you've got that. So make sure that that is facing towards the wall. Okay, and so we've got this here. I'm going to go ahead and tighten this nut up down here that comes with the unit. Okay, just use it. Now we don't want to get it too tight because, you know, obviously we don't want to crack anything, but just get it good to where it's good and solid. Boom, boom, just a little bit. Okay, a little bit more. So we've got a rubber gasket on the bottom, then we've got the cone washer that goes up through the other side of the bidet deck itself. Anyways, so we've got that. And we'll move on now to the actual faucet sets. Okay. Okay, now we've got putting the diverter valve on, and I think we can see that. Yeah, we can see it pretty good. So anyways, now putting the diverter valve together, the trimming it out. So we've got this piece here. We've got a little bit of a lip there, as you can see, and what that's going to do is that's going to set right down there over the rough-in. Okay, that'll fit nice and snug on the deck. And then we're going to take this escutcheon piece here. I'm going to set that right over it. Okay, and that kind of seats itself right there on it, so that looks real nice. Then we're going to take the nut for this, and I think let's see it. We'll take this and put this nut right down on here, so that, and what this will do is this will hold that in place, the trim piece in place. And let's see, just make sure we're doing that threading right. Factory sometimes comes with some dirty threads, so you might have to work with it just a little bit to kind of get it on there. But there we go. There we go. And then very, very gently, you want to just take, and you don't want to just tighten it too much with scratching, but just kind of snug that up just enough to hold that escutcheon in place, or this trim cylinder here. Okay, you can see. So that's good. Let's give it just one more deal. You want to make sure you do it without scratching the surface there. And then we're going to take and put this right over it. Okay, so we're going to take and put, and this is basically just another, again, it's a filler, it's a decoration, or not, well, it kind of fills up that gap, and it seats this diverter. See, this diverter comes out of there. If you pull that plastic piece hard enough, it'll release itself from the brass inside. So this is the actual diverter innards or guts, whatever you want to call them, and what this does is this seats it in place. Make sure that that doesn't come out when you turn the water on, or otherwise you'd have a geyser, and we don't want that. So anyways, put that, get that pretty snug, and for this I would use a good crescent wrench, medium sized, and get that on there, and just kind of, just again, all we're doing is we're just tightening enough to keep that diverter out there. Okay, so we're good there. Okay, so that'll keep it from leaking and everything else. Again, we're good down here, still towards the back wall, so we're good there. Then this piece here, which is the air inlet, goes right up on top here, and it'll fit. This is notched, this plastic is notched, so they're both the same size. And that actually kind of fits right over there. And what that does is you can turn that now. See how you can turn that and regulate pressures on that. So anyways, there you go there. So anyways, there's a screw that you just take and you put right on there. Where's my screwdriver? Okay. Let's go ahead and screw that puppy in there. Okay, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we've got basically what you consider a diverter handle, okay, for the unit, and we'll take a screwdriver and just kind of put that in there and make sure we've got the right screw. Let's see, this may be the right one. Definitely don't want to cross thread things if at all possible not to. So we want to make sure that we've got, use the right screw for the right job. These are both the same. So this one here looks pretty darn good to me, this thingamajigger. So I'll just see if this thingamajigger won't fit. Screw that in. Kind of holds everything in place there. Now you've got a nice little turning action here. Now, simple top decoration, basically to keep this looking nice chrome, and kind of clip that in there without clipping those tabs. It looks like it's going to be a tight fit. So let's see if we can't just give it a little bit of a nudge here. There we go. Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and do a pan camera shot so you can see everything, but it looks real nice there. Good. So now we're going to start off on the next is installing the hot and cold manifold, or the hot and cold stems for the unit. Okay, let's take a look now at putting the water stems in. White cold, black hot. So you want to make sure cold is always going to be on the left side as you're facing, and the hot's going to be on the right, just like your kitchen sink faucet and bathroom faucet and everything else. Starts off with this nut right here, and what this nut does is kind of gives it a depth range. You can set the depth with this, and so you're going to put that on there, and then you're going to slide this washer on top of it, and that's going to sit on the bottom of the deck. Okay, And so we want to go ahead and keep screwing that in there. And let's see here. Boom, come on now. People ain't got all day, Nut. Need to get moving a little bit faster here, so bye-bye. Anyways, let's see how that looks. This is going to be your water feed, and what this does is off of this T right here. Again, this T is going to connect to your main diverter. This is your water going to the actual spray unit, and then this here is the water that goes through the diverter, so this side, as this sits up here, it'll connect right into there. Okay, that's the inlet, and then down here your main lines to your water shutoff valves in the house. Okay, so now that we got that clear, let's go ahead and see if we can't tighten this up. Here's a top nut, okay, and it's there. We need to put that on there like so, and then we're going to take this deal here, and what this is a retaining ring, and that retaining ring, there's just a little bit, if you can notice this here, there's just a little bit of a groove right there between those threads. That groove is for this retaining ring right here. So we're going to put that up in there, and we're just going to slide that ring through there. What that's going to do is stop it from going any further. As you can see, that sits perfect. So now on the bottom, we'll go ahead and tighten up that bottom nut where you saw the washer, and tighten that up and make sure it's good and snug. And again, you don't necessarily need to tighten it up like you're torquing down the heads on a car motor or torquing a manifold on a car motor. You just need to get it good and snug to where it's not going to move around. And that's about it. Tighten it too much, you could wind up with some problems on your decking. You don't want to crack the deck, because these puppies can take a long time if you got to reorder one. And if you got to reorder one when you are ready, the last day of that job, and you're ready for that paycheck, you're not going to feel real good. So that's a good way to ruin the end of a job. Okay, so we've got the cold side stem in, and again, you see how we've got the water output to the diverter valve. We've got that. Make sure we have that pointing towards, and again, we've got a good and snug, but not too tight to we don't want to crack that deck, because you don't want to have to special order another one. Anyways, so here's the piece, and you can see the grooves there, but there's also there's a threaded cylinder in there, and this part moves freely and independently. And what that does is these threads here, what we want to do is we want to kind of set that in place just about like that there, and then we're going to take and just kind of screw that in there onto those top threads. And then that way we'll get it good and snug, and that's it. Okay, make sure you've got both sides. We'll do the other one now, but make sure you have both sides you need to face forward and look at it and make sure they're even on both sides as far as, you know, where this is located on the stop point. So anyways, so we're gonna take this bottom, we're gonna screw this nut in again. This is the hot stem. Okay, we're gonna screw that puppy in there, and just enough to, and again, we're going over that notch for the secure pin to secure that into place. So we're doing that, and then we want to put that washer on top of this, So that way when it sits up on the deck, it doesn't go through. Let's go ahead and just take that just a little further there. Okay, and then now that we've got that there, we're going to take that clamp or that pin and kind of put that in there. Again, there's the pin right there. So we want to take that and just kind of, boom, lock that in place. Oh, not yet, not yet. Let's take that back out real fast. First, we have to put the washer on. Okay, so we've got this adjusted pretty well here. Again, there's your water that goes to the line that goes to the diverter deal here. So, you know, again, that goes to those T's. So we're going to have a line going from there to there on both sides. Okay, so we got this here, and then we've got our top washer. We put that on there to kind of keep it secured. Put that pin in place there. Fits right there in that notch. Okay, so now that we've got that pin in there, make sure that, again, we have the threaded portal there facing towards the diverter valve, and we're just going to tighten up that bottom nut, and we'll just give it again just to kind of snug it in place. You don't want it too tight because you don't want to have a cracked deck. So we go like that with a pair of channel locks is what I prefer to use in a situation like this. They're just kind of easier to move around. Okay, so now that we've got that in place, let's give it one more snug fit. Okay. One more, one or two more deals here. One or two more turns. Okay. Good and snug. Okay, so now we're going to take the hot valve handle, and again, these move independently. We've got the threaded on the inside plus the notched grooves that'll hold it into place. So we're just going to take that, and first what I want to do is I want to come back forward here and make sure that this is proper. Okay, so we've got good and even. Okay, so now that we've got that in the correct position, we want to go ahead and screw that down to the decking and to the valve stem there. And again, just good and snug here. And now they're even. On, off. So there we go. That's that. Now let's take a look at installing the water supply. Okay, first what we're going to do is this here is going to go from the diverter valve over to the actual spray unit, which is inside. You'll see the hole there. That's inside there. And so there's, we want to make sure we have a washer on the top and the bottom when we're installing this unit. This is the roughing here. And then this is the discussion trim here. So now we've got a nut and a washer for the bottom for that nut. So anyways, let's go ahead and get this started here. This is going to be fun here because we got to get a wrench all the way back there. But that's part of the fun. So let's go ahead and we've got a washer there. Let's put a washer there. Let's put a washer at the bottom. And then we've got the larger washer, metal washer, and the nut. Okay, there's the washer and the nut there. So I'll take that washer and just that'll hold it in place for me. I'm gonna do like this. Made it more difficult on myself by putting the downspout in first, but that's okay. I can get around that. So we got the nut going in. We've got a washer on both sides, top and bottom. Make sure that there's a good seal. And there we go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take and place a little piece of cardboard down here, because what I want to do is I want to move this up. Put that there where it can't slide around. And tighten up this nut here. Just using a small crescent wrench. Again, we don't want to over tighten it, we just want it good and snug to where it's not going to move around. That looks good. Let's do this. Let's make sure we have the washer on the top. That's good and straight there. Okay, there we go. Then we're just going to snug that puppy up. Then we're going to take, and I like to use plumber's tape and kind of, let's go ahead and put something under there so that we, first we'll make sure that we are still targeted. Okay, we're good. Okay. And so what I want to do now is just go ahead and just wrap a little plumber's tape around the bottom of that, since now we've got pressurized flowing water that's going to be going through the system. Those areas you want to go ahead and use some plumber's tape and just give it a couple of wraps. And then that way when you hook the supply line to it, it just offers it a little more security. And this is kind of a bugger here, tight fit, but we'll make it work. Okay, so we do that, and then just kind of wrap that puppy around there and get a good wrap on it. Okay, and then that'll give it a little added extra for the supply line connection there. Okay, so we got that. We got this going in here. Everything's going good so far. Thing you don't want to do is you don't want to just rush into these things. If you haven't done it before, then go ahead and use directions if they, if they happen to put them in the box at the shipping plant. Hopefully they had for you. But anyways, this is pretty simple for me. I do them all the time. So anyways, but always remember, every company is different, so they're going to have different directions. Kind of like every shower door or enclosure door is differently. Sometimes they can change every month by month. Who knows when they come up with a new product. So anyways, let's go ahead and just give that a good firm tightening. my phone's going off, but you know something? You are more important than my phone, and I can deal with that later. So right now we'll stick with what we're dealing with and make sure that this is good and snug. You know, I probably should have had just a little a C-wrench for this, but that's okay. That's that would have probably saved me a little time on tightening this because it's such a tight fit down here. So, but that's okay. We'll make this work. And you know, isn't video editing nice? Because when I get ready to put this all together, you're not going to have to sit there and watch this part. I'll go ahead and edit that out, and all of a sudden you're just going to see a finished mount here. Okay, so we've got that there. Okay. Okay, so now that we've got that taken care of, on the bottom side, we're going to take this line here. That gets connected to the diverter right here. Okay, so we're going to take and give that a good snug screw in there. Okay, and again, this is the outlet from the diverter to the actual sprayer unit inside of the bidet area. So we're going to take that, we're going to good and snug. Okay. And that ought to be good there. Okay. So now is where, let's see, let's go ahead and next we'll be looking at connecting the supply lines. Okay, now we're going to be looking at attaching the supply lines from here to this T that we're going to install. As you can see, I've wrapped the threads with some plumber's tape just to ensure no leakage. And so we're going to take that and put that there and kind of get that snug into place there. You see the ferrule right there for the compression bolt system. But anyways, there's the ferrule and then there's the nut. And so we'll go ahead and do this. Now this is one you do not want to over tighten, but you don't want to under tighten it either. If you over tighten it and you crimp that ferrule, then you'll never, you know, you're going to have to basically just cut that line and start over with the new T, because you'll never get that ferrule straight again. So it's got to be level. And anyway, so we'll go ahead and get that good and snug. Again, using my preferred crescent wrench. I like crescent. That's crescent wrench. That's my preferred, made here in the USA, and they'll last for a lot of years. Now sometimes if I'm shopping and I need one real quick, I'll go ahead and just buy an off-brand name, just because I need one for really quick, and mine's buried in the toolbox somewhere, which is I'm famous for. Things of mine tools sometimes get buried, and I'll just have to run up to the store and just buy another one because I don't have time to look through everything. But anyways, as you can see, I've got thread plumber's tape here on the 3/8 inch inlet or outlets, and then I've got on the 1/2 inch. I've got more plumber's tape on both sides, so we'll have a good seal there. And so we want to just kind of slide that in there, maybe bend that just a little bit, make a little more room without crimping it. And let's see, is it this side or is it this side that goes in? It's this side, okay. So there are two different sizes. That looks like maybe a 1/4 inch, and then this is the 3/8 inch side there. And kind of just wind that around there. First, let's go ahead and tighten this up. And again, we don't want to over tighten it. There's a little washer down in there on these. And you don't want to over tighten these and break that washer or give it notch it somehow, or else again you're going to have to take it and just buy a whole new hose and start over again if that happens. So I'm going to try and steer clear of that. Just give it a good snug feeling. You can always tighten more, but if you tighten too much, you can't undo that very easily. So you want to make sure that you have it just good and snug. That looks good there. And then on this side here, we've got that. And so we'll just kind of bend that around there. Thing about bidets is everything's pretty much exposed. All the pipes and things like that, they're pretty much exposed. So you want to make sure you do a pretty job, because they don't make them really. Maybe some brands do, but normally everything is pretty exposed as far as the piping. So So we'll do that, and then let's go ahead and get this one here and put that one in there, like so. And then give that a good tightening. Good and snug, not over tight, but not under tight either. Just get a good feel for it and go from there. So. There we go. That should be good there. Yeah, that should be good there. Now, excuse the top of my balding head if I got that in camera shot there. Anyways, and then we'll go ahead and put this other end in and give that a good tightening. And yeah, these are both 3/8 there. Then we're going to do one more deal on this. There we go. And that should do it. So now we've got the water lines going in next, okay? And she'll be right back. Okay, now we want to move up. Oops. Okay, now we want to move up and around, and this is the top of the toilet that I was talking about. Now here's the sprayer unit that white hose that we put in earlier attaches to this from the diverter valve right there. Okay, so we're over here. We've got that put in there nice and secure, and all we need to do here, it's real simple. It comes with a top piece, a little sprayer with a aerator there inside of it, and basically there's the rough end deal there, and basically all we're going to do is just screw that together. There's threads in there, it'll screw on tight, and there you go. So there you have it. Boom, 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 boom. And there is your bidet right there. Oops, let's see, I guess I should be filming from this direction. Anyways, we'll go ahead and film it when everything's connected, but there you go, right there. So next we'll be putting in the, connecting the main water supply lines to both hot and cold, and then we will put those, I'll put some water shut-off valves on hot and cold there, coming out of the wall, and we'll connect the two, and then we'll show you how to mount this. What we'll have to do is drill through the floor, and then it comes with a package of mollies there that go through the concrete, and you can see the bolts there, and we'll just drill through the floor and mount this just like a toilet. Without the wax ring, of course. Okay, it's been bolted to the floor, good and solid, both sides. Got it hooked up to the two water lines here, and back over here on the other side of that deal there. This way on the other side, hot and cold, coming out of the wall. Everything looks good, no leaks. And we're going to turn it on. So this is how a bidet works. Okay. And well, I guess that's just the right spot too, isn't it? I've never seen one before. No. Not like this. Retake. this is how a bidet works. Got that there? Little fountain of youth there. It also has rim action under the rim. The water can divert and go under the rim to kind of cleanse the whole toilet area once you're done using the bidet. Here's the cold, hot, and let's go ahead and turn that back on because here's the diverter. This is a Toto Bidet. Here's the diverter. What that diverter does is when you turn that counterclockwise, as you can see in there, it's kind of like, almost like a toilet. It's got water coming from under the rim there, and basically what it does is it flushes all whatever through and then down the drain right there. Now that drain has a lever. Let's go ahead and put it back in full mode again. I'm going to turn that diverter valve again back to the fountain of youth. So we can also have half and half. We can have cleansing in here from under the rim, water, and then this going on at the same time. That's what I like about it. And then back here is the open and close for the drain. Okay, so it's kind of like just like a sink. Open it, pull it up, push it down, or you open it by pushing it down, pull it up, and it closes the drain and holds the water. Then you push it back down and it opens the drain again. And so it's kind of like just like a sink. So anyways, there we go. That's what a bidet looks like. And let me see here. Let's get that puppy on there. And there we go. Yeah, the stuff in there, that's from the sticker from the factory, no problem. It just washes right out, a little bit of elbow grease. Anyways, there you go. There is your Toto Bidet.